This is something new that we've been talking about for a couple months now, actually.
Yes,
now that I'm thinking about it.
That is true.
But we kind of, it's weird how we met and how close we were without knowing who we were. But now that we met, here we are, because now we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, we have to get out of our comfort zone to make this happen.
Yes, that is true.
So, my name, Edgar Barrera. If you don't know who I am, I'm a realtor here in the DFW Metroplex. This is my 11th year going in the industry. And tell them who you are.
My name is Alexis Romo. I am also a real estate agent in the Metroplex, the DFW Metroplex, and I have been doing it for 11 years. Same.
11 years.
Yes.
Wow. See, we here in the same city, and we just barely met like last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but we just clicked it off. I met her at her open house, her beautiful house. It was like jaw-dropping. So, anything to say how we met?
Yeah, I was doing an open house, and I had collaborated with a few agents in the neighborhood who was also doing open houses at that time. And so we just put a big flyer out and sent, as much as we could to kind of get everyone in, and he ended up walking in the door. So
I was there to record content because these were some beautiful houses, and literally it was like I was short on time, like it was over, and I just happened to like see her sign for the last time. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run in real quick, do my quick video real quick. And we actually ended up talking for like a good 20-30 minutes. I remember your husband came home too. Probably gave me the weird look, like, who's this guy? But it was a good conversation, and we were talking about the brokerages. I think at that time I had just left my previous brokerage.
Yep.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still with Keller Williams.
Okay.
I have stayed with them through the whole process. I was on a team, now I'm off team. I'm my own individual agent now, which makes it great.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your background. So how'd you get into real estate?
So I'll start with this. I'm not from Texas, and once you get into real estate, they always tell you, reach out to your sphere. And the whole reason I moved to Texas is because I worked for In-N-Out Burger, and I was their trainer. I would go open a new store and help train, and then move on to the next store, and then move on to the next store. We landed here in Texas, and my kids were starting to get a little bit older, and we're like, all right, we're not moving from Texas. This is a good place. It's a good place to raise a family. So we stayed. That was 2011. I was not moving up anymore in the company, and real estate was always in the back of my head. I finally got my real estate license, and I slowly made the transition from working there, fast food, to full-time realtor. When I left my full-time job, I went on a team, kind of like you, I guess. I went on a team, and I did not care about the splits. I did not care about the leads. I didn't care about none of that. What I wanted more than anything, I wanted to follow the rainmaker. I wanted him inside out. I was like the guinea pig. Like, you tell me to go do something, I went to go do it without questions. You need to sign up? No problem. You need me to go deliver these documents? No problem. So I promised the rainmaker that I would give a year of my time to him to help him grow, and obviously grow myself. And I don't think you could put a price on that. So I didn't care about the splits again, like I was saying. And he taught me a lot, dealing with contracts, dealing with clients, prospecting every single day, how it's not a non-negotiable. And then I did my year with him. We parted ways, just like anybody else in my life. I want to keep a good relationship. Doesn't matter if we have a bad experience, I still want to keep a relationship. I've learned to let go of all my negativity, and it's helped me become a better person in life. I'm not saying you all have to do that, but that's just who I am now.
Yeah,
and I thanked him, and fast forward 11 years now, I'm solo agent, I have an assistant, I have a transaction coordinator, I have an organization, about 12 people as of right now. It is growing bigger. Meaning more and more people are starting to join my organization. It's kind of like a brokerage within a brokerage, but without all the liability. But that's a quick story of who I am.
Cool. Awesome.
What about you? Let's hear your story.
Oh, lovely. So I was born and raised in New Mexico. So I'm not from Texas either. I ended up coming to Texas for schooling. I initially didn't have the desire to go into real estate, it kind of happened. My dad was in construction, so he did concrete through my whole existence. I was in and off of projects, seeing how slabs are put together, forms, rebar, you name it, I've seen it. And then I met my husband, he's also in construction and commercial. That's kind of how we think we kind of clicked, which was great. So I kind of understood a lot about the other side of everything, but not necessarily the real estate transaction side. So because I was already in the construction industry in one way or another, seen houses built, seen pools built, it looked like a good avenue that was I felt comfortable in. And so that's kind of how I branched out into real estate. As I branched out into real estate, obviously I didn't know anything,
right?
Like everyone.
We don't know what we don't know.
So I went into Keller Williams, completely, fresh, 20 years old, not knowing anything. And I met with a team. And when I went into meeting the team, my whole goal was to gain experience. I just wanted to know how the process worked from start to finish, and to gain as much experience as I could about contracts, about meeting clients, about sales, about closing deals. So my first 2 years was strictly just experience. Like you, I didn't care about the transaction or the percent I got, because I wanted to gain the experience for the long haul. And when I did that, that really helped me gain the confidence and the capability to make connections on my own.
Yeah.
That made me really want to branch out on my own, knowing that I had the capabilities to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am now, branching out.
Yeah, it's always interesting just to hear the stories of how people got into the real estate industry. And you got in a team, I got in a team. We're not saying that's right for you as well, but it's a great avenue to bring business quick. That's the hardest struggle. Do you know the statistics of how real estates fail, how often they fail?
Yes, I don't know the statistics.
It's very high. It's
Yes.
very high. I think within the first 2 years, about 90% choose to walk away, go to another profession. And it's because of that, just getting started.
Yes.
Remember, people always need somewhere to live, but they're not doing it on a daily basis. And if you don't have the patience to wait or make that connection long term, it's gonna be painful.
Yeah, I also tell people when they're going into real estate, one, to keep your other job, to have a steady income, because when you're going into real estate, it's really for the long haul. You're not going to get, it's not a magical moneymaker. It really isn't.
It's not selling Sunset on Netflix, okay?
No. I wish it was, because we'd be sitting on yachts by now.
Right?
So honestly, when you go into real estate, I always tell people you should keep your other job so you can have a consistent paycheck, but also, don't be discouraged when things don't always go your way. Because most of the time, the transaction's not always going to happen. And, you can't get discouraged with thinking that you're not good enough, because everyone is. It's just, you have to come across the right people at the right time that are willing to give you that shot. And over time it gets easier, because you'll get referrals and you get networking, and people help you and see your potential and kind of can guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think I call it commission breath. You have to get rid of your commission breath. If you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, get rid of that commission breath. And what I mean by that is, don't expect somebody's gonna always come to you. I've learned just to let go of things. Always come from contribution and expect nothing in return. Okay, that's the hardest thing for a lot of people, because they're thinking their cousin, their aunt, their friend is going to use them. Sometimes that family friend doesn't want you to know their personal business, and you can't take it the wrong way. Okay, congratulate them, move on, go find the next deal. So
see it as a blessing in disguise, because sometimes that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those transactions can ruin relationships, whether you realize it or not. So, I mean, honestly, you know, I say go for it.
Yeah, and she said it earlier, you know, a lot of these deals, they're not easy. We have that reputation, all we do is opening doors, but a good actually working realtor, they're gonna save you thousands of dollars, they're gonna save you a ton of headaches. And trust me, like I said, I have a group of about 12 agents under me now. You would be surprised with the amount of calls that I get from those agents that are just stressed to like no other, because something's going wrong. The client has no clue. This is behind closed doors.
Yeah,
This
a lot
is
of it happens
conversation.
behind closed
Yeah.
doors.
I'm sure your husband has had that where you call him and you're freaking out, don't know what to do, but it's because we're trained what to do in the next steps. And this is why,
Right.
you know, it's worth it to get a real estate commission. I know when I bought my own house, I had to figure out how to get my personal emotions out of it. And my wife would tell me all the time, she's like, your personal emotions are affecting the deal. So this is why I suggest always get a realtor. Always get a realtor. It's well worth your time and investment.
Yes, and I agree with that in regards to like if you're trying to rent a property, don't be the real estate agent if you own the property, because you know that can be a sticky deal as well, because you're managing your own property while you're renting it out. And initially that sounds great, but when you're having to deal with you know, AC repairs and plumbing issues and someone's coming at you aggressively, it can be a little sticky.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what a real estate agent does, is they guide people's emotions through a deal, as well as they guide a transaction so that everything ends smoothly and the way that it's supposed to, and everyone is happy, hopefully happy by the end of the deal. We can't promise that, but we try.
Always over deliver, explain everything as much as you can. And that's one of the biggest complaints that I hear is the realtor is not communicating enough. So
yeah.
I know every Monday I reach out to certain people. Every Tuesday I reach out to certain people. And I do it weekly, and that way everybody's on the same boat and there's no miscommunication. So, but one thing that's been stuck in my head, and you told me yesterday, you liked one of my videos, and you said, what did you send me?
It was the Jurassic, I don't know, it was like Jurassic Park one.
It was a Jurassic theme park video.
It was really cool.
And she sent me the message, and the message, like, these are so cool. When you send these messages, you never know how it's going to affect that person, positive or negative. And to me, it's just replaying in my head. But what was it, the exact same message that you sent? Something about my video.
I can't remember.
Like the videos were so cool, you were inspiring me, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I literally said, this is actually a really good topic, because I feel the same way towards you, because when I see her social media stuff, like I'm inspired by all the amount of construction her and her husband do. It's just amazing to me. So like I'm inspiring her and she's inspiring me, so it works both ways. And that's what I was trying to say. This is a good topic to talk about.
I do think it's really cool because you know, you don't always have the ideas. Sometimes the ideas come to you and sometimes they don't. And so when you see on social media, you're bombarded with so many things, and once in a while you'll come across someone or come across something that really kind of gets you out of your thinking zone of like, oh wow, that was interesting. I had never thought of doing something like that in order to draw something in. You know, whether it's a transaction or deal or even a person. So, you know, and I really think in real estate, there's not enough agents trying to help each other. I think that's a big thing, is like, we're all in the same boat, whether we want to say we are or not. We're all trying to, you know, guide people into a transaction and through a sale. And if you're, you know, you really have to be open, you really have to be like
transparent.
Yes, transparent. That's a great word. I couldn't think of the word, so thank you.
And I tell my kids all the time, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with, so choose your friends wisely and carefully. I use that same thing with the people that I have aligned myself with. Obviously, she's one of them because she really inspires me with her construction side, but also like with the reason I went to Realtor America is because the leaders there are doing amazing things, and I want to get there one day, and with their guidance, that's why I chose to go with them. Now, the people that have come with me, they feel the same thing about me, and I've never thought about opening a brokerage, leading a team like that until this opportunity came across my desk, and I was just blown away. I'm like, people actually do like me for whatever reason, you know?
Which is a good thing.
Tooting my own horn,
yeah,
which is hard for me to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, you want to stay humble in the process. So when it comes to your real estate expertise, you've been in it for 11 years. What would you advise people who are looking at, you know, purchasing a home or, you know, about Texas? I mean, what have you seen in Texas through the 11 years like I have in the market and, you know, all of that?
I think right now specifically, we're in April 2026. Right now, the market's a little bit weird because when you said right now, Texas in general, it's hard to say because Texas is so huge. The Houston market is different from the Austin market. Austin market is different from the San Antonio market. San Antonio market way different from here in the Metroplex. Here in the Metroplex, we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes, that's what we specialize.
I think we are blessed because there's still a lot of good growth and a good economy here in the Metroplex. For example, if you're ever here, look how much it's growing. Look how much new construction, and not just her, but like big builders. They're still building, and that's a good sign of a good economy. I know sometimes I put up my videos out there with the new community and people comment on there, I don't want the growth, why is it growing so much? Well, I'd rather it be growing than not growing, because if it's not growing, that means we're in a bad economy.
Correct.
So does that make sense? So depending on who you ask, thankfully for us, we're blessed.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and I think that's true. I wouldn't say Texas is economic proof because it's not, but we have a lot of land which allows for expansion. We have a lot of companies coming from places like California, places from New York, where we do have tax cuts, which is a great benefit for people moving into the Texas area. I know a lot of people are coming from California and up the East Coast. So when they come into the area, you know, they do get the tax breaks. You know, the property taxes are going up. Like you said, the growth has expanded. There's a lot of big data centers and a lot of big projects coming into the area.
A lot of headquarters have come out this way.
Yes, which is going to obviously expand the market as far as homes come, because when a company comes, well, they need employees. And the only way they're gonna have employees is if they move them down here and house them. So that is a, you know, big growth in market, and we see it a lot, I think, going up kind of the outskirts of Dallas-Fort Worth communities. You know, what used to be a small town 10 years ago is now, you know, incorporated into almost a city within a city. You know, places like Anna and Salina are growing rapidly. You know, the population is growing massively. They can't even make the schools, I think, big enough for how much the population of people are coming in, which is great, right?
With that being said, what side of the Metroplex do you live in, and why did you choose that area?
We live in Benbrook. I have worked pretty much in the Fort Worth area mostly. I've worked in Dallas, but because, you know, I'm stationed in the Fort Worth area, I stay in the Fort Worth area. I will travel anywhere, but what I have seen is like our side has expanded. Anything outside of the city limits, a lot of new developers are coming in and developing. When you're outside of the city limits, you don't have permits, you don't have inspections. It's easy to develop on a, you know, 25 to 300 acre lot. We have new developments coming in like the Maverick, which is a big one down south. We have Kelly Ranch. You know, the lots are starting at $2 million. One is sponsored by, gosh, what's his name? That's on the golf, he's on Tiger Woods. Yep. Yes. And I mean, they have so many developers coming in and investing their money. There's investor groups coming in, you know, and it really makes it, like you said, a weird market right now, because there's all these new construction, but then a lot of the older construction isn't, you know, older houses, not construction, is not being sold as fast.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are sitting. We're in a weird market because things aren't selling like they were in 2019, where it was like you got like 15 contracts and you have to sort through them in 2 days, and you know, people are outbidding each other, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and that's something that's happening right now. Like when I go meet with these sellers, I have 2 listing appointments right after this. And one of them is an investor, one of them bought in 2023. So the approach I have to get to them is understanding where the market is right now. And we're switching to a buyer's market. We're pretty much already there in a buyer's market.
Yes, we are.
So the biggest difference is, obviously back then there was 15 contracts. Now we have to wait, market the property correctly, and wait for the right offer to come in. What I mean by that is there's people submitting $30,000, $40,000 under asking price. And if you're a homeowner, it's more than likely gonna offend you because that's not when you bought and that's not what happened. So we have to educate them with what's going on right now. Patience is key right now. And sometimes a lot of people don't have that time. Now, like for example, those investors that I'm meeting with later on today, you know, they've been, unfortunately, they got taken advantage of by contractors. So they've had these houses since 2022. So that was almost at the peak of the market where like if they would have finished that year, those houses would have been gone.
Yes.
Fast forward now, 4 years later, 2026, those houses are gonna be sitting there. And not sitting there, but like if we don't price it right, they're gonna sit. And unfortunate thing is right down the street, they're gonna be competing with a big, huge builder. And that builder is gonna give you a ton of incentives because builders right now, they understand the market. They're giving you closing costs. They're buying down the rates. They're doing everything they can to get rid of these properties because that's the business they're in. Now you talk to a small investor, that's a whole different conversation.
Or if you're talking to a seller, you know, someone that owns their home, they're gonna have a different experience because they're emotionally attached to their home. They bought maybe when the market was high, you know, back in 2022 where they bought it at an extreme high amount, and then now they're looking at, okay, well, if we close on this, you know, are we gonna break even? Are we gonna have enough money to pay the banks back, you know, with the loan that we, you know, took on? Back when the market was high. And so that's, you know, when you're dealing, like you're saying, with different people, you have to deal with individual needs. You know, some people are sellers and are emotionally attached, which they should be, to their homes. You know, so you have to guide them in the right direction versus an investor versus someone who's building a property. There's, you know, or people that are flipping homes, or if you're talking to a buyer, you know, they really need to understand what position they play in the market that we're in. Because buyers, sadly, for sellers, have an advantage, right? But at the same time, it's good for buyers because there was a lot of, you know, there was times where they couldn't get a loan, you know, and then with the interest rates, which is another thing we could go into, which I don't know.
Something's always going on in real estate.
Yeah, the interest rates are always constantly changing. They were super high at the beginning of last year. We're starting to see, I think, a drop.
A little bit.
And so, you know, that does change what people can afford. You know, some people just can't afford the high interest rate with their mortgage. You know, when you tie that in with property taxes, and property taxes are high because everything's sold high, and now, you know, they're appraising things from a year ago that were higher than they are now. The only benefit is the property taxes might go a little down for the people that do have their houses. That's only... Yeah.
But we have to ignore the negativity though. Ignore it. We gotta stay positive.
Positive thinking.
Because people have to move no matter what. Doesn't matter what kind of economy we are, people are gonna have to move. And unfortunately, that's why so many people are getting out of the business because it's harder for them to find those people. So, but we have well-established businesses. Most of my business comes through referrals, not only through my past clients, but also other agents that are not here locally. So that's another good thing for me is thankfully I've been blessed to continue with my business. So, but where do you see yourself in 5-10 years with this real estate career?
Hopefully I'm doing big deals. I don't know, we'll see.
She's already doing big deals.
I hope I can get to a point where I'm doing deals consistently, to the point hopefully where I'll need help, because if I can get to that point, that means I'm bringing in a good stream of income. I've also thought about going into commercial. I haven't dabbled in that before, so I don't know if that's in the cards, but it's something I've thought about. There's a lot of developers and people out there that deal with bigger industrial land and investments. So, that might be an avenue.
I think you should go for it. There's nothing holding you back.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just like real estate. Remember, we were doubtful in the beginning with real estate, but we don't know what we don't know.
Eventually, I want to get to a point where hopefully I can, maybe build my own houses and sell my own houses. I see a lot of realtors do that.
Yeah.
They partner with a lot of people and then get enough experience to where they're selling their own homes. Hopefully, I can establish a good referral base to keep me busy and maybe one day end up on on an island somewhere where where everyone else is making the deals for me. I don't know if that's
it's doable.
Yeah,
I think it's doable.
Thank you. What about you? Where do you want to be?
5 or 10 years, hopefully closer to that retirement age. A little bit more background again, as you can tell, I'm Mexican. My parents are immigrants. And obviously they came here for that golden opportunity, but I feel like I owe it to them to help them retire back in Mexico if they want to go back. But I do see myself going back to Mexico hopefully one day, not only to retire, but maybe just investments as well. I have several investments here in the Metroplex, but in 5 or 10 years, I want to grow enough people to where, like I said, it's a brokerage within the brokerage, my organization. Hopefully I'll double it, triple it. I do have a really good, strong agent that's probably going to make the move to our organization to help me grow it. Team-wise, I have had several people reach out to me and ask me when I'm going to start my team, but I'm looking for certain people. I'm going to be super picky when I do grow that team. Again, I already have my assistant. I already have a transaction coordinator. There's probably hiring on an ISA to help me with finding more business. I have a good game plan already, but it's just take that action and execute. That's all that's missing.
Would you ever consider becoming your own broker?
That's the good part of why I went to Realtor America, is because I already am like a broker. Essentially, like I said, people call me all the time and I help them out, but I'm not an official broker. Like I went to go look into it to see how many hours and experience I needed to become a broker, and they're like, yeah, you're well past that. You just need to take the classes and take the test. So probably I am going to become a broker, but starting an actual brokerage, it's not on the cards yet. But who knows? Nothing's
set in stone, right? That's
Correct.
What they say. Nothing's set in stone. So hopefully, getting our name out here and doing this will help us kind of branch out to you guys, and hopefully you guys can help us out.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us. This is fun. This is our first time doing it together, so first of many to come, right?
Yeah, hopefully we can get some more people up here and get some more interviews.
Right on.
So,
do you have a social media that you want to share with everybody, that way they follow you?
Yeah, I mean, like, you can just follow me on Facebook. You can do my personal. I have a business page attached to it, but it's Alexis Romo at Keller Williams, because that's who I represent for now. I want to keep those open. But but I do represent them, and you can just follow me on there. I'm on Instagram. That's also another one, but it's still under my last name. It's Alexis Larson. But feel free to go ahead and add that on,
So
which we'll comment, and we'll give you guys a link below probably.
Reach out to her, and with me, Sold by Edgar. All my platforms are sold by BY, not by. Sold by Edgar. So if you can, just give us a follow there. If you made it to the end, thank you so much.